Here at Gundam Planet, we're all about cleaning up after ourselves. Here at Gundam Planet, we're all about uploading videos on a set schedule. Here at Gundam Planet, we're all about remembering to set up the review space. Here at Gundam Planet, we're all about crinkly posters. Here at Gundam Planet, we're all about doing what must be done. Because you may notice we've been away for a little while, and it's because we haven't been reviewing things. And part of working at Gundam Planet is getting asked at least once a day, what do you think of blank? What do you think of blank kit? What do you think of this? And unfortunately, since I've been out of the game for like 8 months now or something like that, I haven't really been able to come back with very many good answers other than the GM Sniper 2 White Dingo, which I've been able to answer every single time. It's great. I love it. It's perfect. But the thing we've been asked about most is real grade unicorn. And I've just been like, I don't know, I heard it's good. So I'm going to stop doing that right now. I'm going to get to the bottom of it. And I also figure I'm best to do this because I've built a master grade unicorn, a master grade unicorn, the master grade unicorn, the high grade unicorn, the high grade unicorn, the perfect grade unicorn, the BB unicorn. So like, been around the block. I'm gonna see if this is worth caring about. Now you might be like, hey Nick, that's the premium unicorn mode box version of the real grade unicorn, so won't this be different from the regular one? I'm going to show you a neat trick, okay? Here's the standard box unicorn. Here's the premium box unicorn. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Now I am reviewing the regular release unicorn. Yes, that is the only difference. We've actually been asked that quite a few times. There is no difference. It is the front of the box. The sides of the box are the same. No, wait. The sides of the box are a little bit different. You can see this is unicorn mode, and this is destroy mode. So, alright, I was wrong. There's more to it than I thought. It's all four sides of the top of the box. So, that answers your question. And now, gonna get down to what makes this thing tick. Now, I am like, maybe kind of tone deaf to, intricacies of the unicorn anymore because I look at this and I'm like, wow. This is the unicorn bazooka, alright. I feel like the perfect grade was just this, but multiple times larger. And same with this inner frame. Like, yep, those are the unicorn knees. I don't know if you've built these, but those sure are the knees. And here we have the waist, and like, the inner frame isn't gunmetal like some of them are. It just feels like nice inner frame plastic. So whatever. This sure looks like the Psycho frame. However, I'm really not sure how the camera is picking this up. This does strike me as like a little bit more blue. It seems like it's going to be extra UV reactive. I don't know how it looks in the lights, but this is like very vibrant. That's the first like major difference I've noticed. That's pretty cool. I like that. Here are the stickers. They're like 4,000, and I haven't decided if I'm going to do these. We'll see how it looks. We'll see how. I've heard this is slightly bigger than the high grades. We'll see how it scales and if this will just look like chickenpox. We're gonna go as we go, and this is the legs, so that's great. And this is a different shade of white. Again, I don't know how well this is picking up, but this is your classic white. This is your classic unicorn white. This is like very light gray. So even though it's traditionally a white mobile suit, they are still doing that real grade thing where they separate it in different tones, which I think is cool. So that's good too. Let's see about this is a different gray. Okay, sorry, we're on a white table with different shades of white pieces, but all three of these are different shades, which is pretty neat. Like, I like that it's very subtle, but I can tell it's gonna make finished product look different from all the other ones. So I appreciate that as well. This is just white, whatever. And then this also, the A runner. This is pretty cool because the tips of the feet and some of the backpack is different colors from the rest of the feet and the rest of the backpack. Usually, in all the other unicorns I've built, this is its own, like this and this are their own runner cast in the same color. So it's neat that they're using the multiple, the multiple injection runner for actual different shades of blue for even more part separation. And this is very interesting because this is the inner frame. So you have the traditional real grade thing. I forget what it's called. I've been out of the game for a while, but it's the traditional real grade idea of the pre-assembled inner frame, except for it's kind of like the red frame where they put multiple colors on it. Except for this is actually multiple types of plastic, which is very cool. So we'll see how intuitive this is. This actually, it looks like this is actually going to expand when you build it right here. So that's neat. I'm, like I said, I have heard good things about this. I'm trying to clear that from my mind, though, because my job is to give you guys an honest opinion of this. So that's what I'm here to do. I'm, to quote a true artist, keep your hopes up high and your head down low. I'm back. Finally. It feels like an eternity since I, unboxed this bad boy and started building it. And I tried to pay like super close attention while I was building it. And one of the things we can talk about with this model is that it forces you to do that anyway. So even if I wasn't trying to pay really close attention, I would have had to. What I want to start by saying is this was not fun. I did not enjoy building this model. It wasn't relaxing. It wasn't something that you could kind of like, I couldn't watch something and build this in the background. This consumed all of my attention for the entire time I was working on it. You really need to pay attention to the way that the CG renders in the manual are oriented, because a lot of the pieces have very similar sides and they're switching things around constantly. Sometimes it looks like something's in the back, but it's really in the front, and you really got to like triple check your work. On some of the arms, you have to like insert this piece 2/3 of the way, put something else in here, insert this the rest of the way. And there's a lot of really precise stuff like that. So you can't really just kind of I'm gonna put my unicorn together. It doesn't really work that way. And at the end of the day, it paid off. This is a fantastic finished product. I really can't believe how different it was from the other unicorns I was building. So that kind of speaks to that also, with the amount of unicorns that I've put together. The fact that this kept me on my toes and I really couldn't just throw it together without the instructions, they actually did make something different and unique when I really didn't think that they had it in them anymore. So, I was just pleasantly and unpleasantly surprised at the same time. But I do want to say there are a couple, going back to the paying attention thing, particularly in the torso, there are these two parts on the front hatch that you can't cut off, and it specifies, like, don't cut these parts off, but they are right next to where it's connected to the runners. So you have the nubs and then the things you can't cut off directly next to each other. And it's like a really questionable design choice, but I guess they just want you to, be engaged and pay attention. Maybe I'm making excuses for them, and they could have designed it a little bit better as far as gate placement. But like I said, really good. You can just see, like, nothing is falling off. The fact that nothing is falling off of a unicorn that I'm doing this to is actually unbelievable, especially given the way that the master grade just tends to disintegrate if you try and pose it. So with all this about the build process being said, we're going to go closer so I can show you exactly how it all functions. So here's the man of the hour, up close and personal. I'm just going to cover the body first, because I'm sure the thing you're all wondering about is the transformation gimmick. So I'm going to do something that in any other case would result in disaster. I'm going to actually do half and half, leave it half untransformed, and actually go through it step by step on camera. I hope it doesn't get washed out on the table. So they tell you to take the head off. I'm doing this without the instructions, by the way. They tell you to take the backpack off. So there you go. The torso, actually very neat. There's this thing back here that you just flip up. I'm pretty sure it's a similar mechanism to the master grade, but not exactly. I feel like this works a little bit better. So you just pull that up, push it back in. There you go. Come back to the front. I'm trying to make sure that you guys can see it while also doing it myself. All you gotta do, pull these arms out. Wow. And then you pull these down. You can see I didn't put the stickers on because I wanted to show you guys the color separation, and putting all those red stickers all over it kind of it hides the gray versus the white, so you wouldn't be able to see it as well. I'll probably go back and do those later, but for now, those two are the only stickers because they make you put them on as you're building. So you do that, then, and as you can see, they have these tabs in places, so I can use my nails to just lift things up. You really don't have to fight with it. So, like, there's the torso. That's really cool. The arm, you just flip this down, pull out, and then flip it back in. Bam, arm is done. Like, it's very surprising that I can do this while talking to you guys and just, alright, see, this one is the one thing you really have to go for, is yank it out and then push it over. But it's not on a swivel like it is on the master grade. Like, usually it's on a swivel. This is actually just on a rail, so you just push it up, That's fine. And the legs are probably the most similar to anything I've done before, with unicorn-wise, because you got to pop this thing out on a hinge, then pull the rest of the leg down, lock it back in. There you go. Top is done. This one, just like all of the unicorns, you have to pull this out, pull this way, yank on it a little bit. Sorry, my finger is in the way. And then see how that pops up? So there's that. And then lock this in like that. Put this back because it popped off. That's actually the first time that transforming it, anything has popped off. So having a bit of run of bad luck here. I think this guy is camera shy. But you can see this thing actually articulates, like it's supposed to articulate, so that you can just slide this back on there. And there you go. And it's not going to look perfect because I am doing this under pressure. But then you have this, flip this up, pull this out just like that. And then the feet, this actually just flips down. It's a high heel, it rotates. So you do one of those, and you do one of these, and then pull this up. That actually recommends that you remove these parts here. I really hope the camera's picking up on all this. But you can actually just move them out of the way, rotate this up, and then articulate this down so that you have it just like that. And then put this back over here. And shockingly, you can see he's a little lopsided because that's the way it's supposed to be. We got one side done, one side not. So all things considered, I feel like that went pretty well. Head, actually, vast improvement. I want to address this because the other ones try and make it, they're very fixed on, we want it to transform, we don't want it to parts form. This one, they just kind of accepted, nah, it's going to parts form. So you just take the sides of the head off, actually articulate these out because it has a frame, and then you pull this thing off and just turn it around. There's the other face. Put this back on. Put these back on upside down. And then, once you have it like that, you can just swivel this open. Bam. There's the destroy mode head. Put it back on there. Whammo. So there it is. Gold stickers, the jury's out. I don't really know if I like the shine. You might even be able to do a gold Gundam marker, paint it gold. It is, you can't really see the sticker at all from the back. It is cut and trimmed well, but I just think from the front it looks kind of tacky to have that foil on there. So that is totally your decision. And then the backpack, it's just a backpack. You just do this, flip these out, psycho frame, there you go, back on. So there he is. And maybe it looks weird half and half, but I honestly do not like destroy mode. But I think it looks really good here. I'm actually impressed with how it turned out. I built the perfect grade and I just left it in unicorn mode because I think that's the better one. But this is good enough that I actually might, if I had it posed for a while and was feeling I kind of want to change it up, I'd probably just play this in destroy mode because it looks good. So just going to leave this here and move on to the accessories. It comes with all your standard stuff. You got the 2 beam saber blades that can go either on the ones on the backpack or in the wrist. You have classic hyper bazooka, which can, telescope, put the magazine in just like that. And then you can hold it over his shoulder. You got the beam magnum, same thing where the magazine comes out. You got the articulated thing so you can hold it across his body firing. You got the shield, which very easy, just whoop, right on his arm. Love that. And then this is probably my favorite thing that they abandon about traditional real grades. No garbage real grade hands. I really don't like those hands. They don't look good. They don't function holding weapons. They're kind of useless. And so Bandai abandoned them, gave you splayed fingers for each side, weapon possession for each side, and closed fist for each side. That's all you need because I don't like fussing with those things that are just lousy old master grade hands but smaller and worse. So all you gotta do, if you wanted to hold the weapon, just open this, put it in because there's a little peg. There you go. Take this hand out, put this hand in. Oh my gosh, that was the easiest bit of unicorn posing I think I've ever done. So, well done here. I really appreciate it. And then one last thing I do want to mention, it does come with your option for fixed unicorn and fixed destroy mode, which I appear to have broken the fixed destroy mode, but that's good because that's easy enough to swap off too with the way that the head is constructed. If you just want it to look good without having that weird break in the top, you can do that. So, features implemented and accessories included, I have no complaints. I really enjoy this thing now that it's done. Didn't really enjoy getting here. I did want to say, at one point in the instructions, let me just find this, because I simultaneously laughed and was bothered by the fact that this says, and I don't know if you can see this, right here, cut out cleanly. It takes the time to specify that you need to cut this part out cleanly. Why aren't you doing that with all your parts? You shouldn't have to specify one. Just cut them all out nicely, because otherwise you're going to have a nubby mess, and just do yourself a favor and just imagine that this is around all of them. Okay? That's from me to you. That's my advice. Cut out cleanly. I'm sorry, I forgot when I was transforming. I did not transform the shoulder. So, let me just real quick do this, because honestly, of all the transforming gimmicks, this is the one that got me. It's like really strange the way that this, you open it up, so you pop it like this, okay, and then you just swivel this out. You see how it articulates up like that? And then you're just supposed to lock it back in, and that looks fine. But see, it's not quite straight lined up the way that it is on all the promo pictures. So I'm really not sure why that is, or if I did something wrong. So I'm gonna fuss with this, and I'll know for sure by the time that this video goes up. So I'll be able to address this in the comments. I just have not figured this one out yet. Closing thoughts. Good for beginners? Absolutely not. Actually, just today, we had like a 7-year-old customer in the store who brought this up and wanted to build it, and I was just like, really, no. You really shouldn't really do that unless you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. If you've built a unicorn before, and you're bored with it and you still like the design, give this a shot. Like if you're bored with the unicorn at all and you're just looking for something to change it up, I really think this is good. It really is like the small perfect grade, but it doesn't feel like a cheap downscale. In some ways, I look at the Gundam 3.0 and the real grade, and I'm like, did they just like scale this up oddly? And this doesn't feel like that. I built the perfect grade and this feels like a completely new thing, which is very difficult with, let's face it, like there's really not a lot of room for variation here. You have the unicorn design, and that's just where it is. But with, I mentioned some of the color separation with the white and gray, and that's why I didn't put the stickers on, because I wanted to really bring out like the really cool color separation. So I'm kind of getting back to what I already talked about before, but it's unique. And I think that's why I'm so caught up on it, is because I'm really kind of shocked that I feel that way. So if any of what I'm saying is making you think like, maybe you should really do it. I do want to go back to something I said in the beginning that I haven't addressed. I was kind of hard on Bandai for doing the whole premium box unicorn thing. I don't have a problem with 2 box art. I don't have a problem with saying first edition unicorn mode box art. That's fine. Please do not use the word premium and then release 2 different SKUs, because you know what else you did that with? The Premium Providence Gundam, and that actually is 2 different things. One comes with a stand and some decals, the other one doesn't. Fine use of the word premium. This, not fine use of the word premium. So, now that I'm off that, this is great. And I think I can say that I'm actually done with unicorns for a little bit now. So, maybe I can move on to something else.